What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm Kat, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my EDC lineup recommendations for 2021. If you want to see more EDC Las Vegas videos, definitely subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell because I will have more EDC Las Vegas videos posting within the next couple weeks before the event actually happens. So let's get into it. Starting off is Stereo Bloom. This year, Stereo Bloom is hosted by Insomniac Records. So you have artists like Bijou, Blossom, Dr. Fresh, Jay Wara, John Summit, Lee Foss, LP Gioppi, Luke Andy, Matroda, and so many more at that stage since it is hosted by Insomniac Records. So let me give you my top 3 that I would definitely recommend that you guys see that weekend. So, top 3. 1, Blossom. Definitely you want to see Blossom. She has such a great stage presence. She plays a lot of bass house music, but she can also throw down some drum and bass. She just overall gives you a really, really good time. And that's just personally from what I've seen from Instagram videos and anything else that has been posted on social media. I personally have never seen her live, but she's definitely at the top of my list for not only you to enjoy, but for myself to enjoy as well too. So Blossom is number 1. Next, I would definitely recommend John Summit. I saw John Summit at Global Dance Festival this past summer here in Denver, Colorado, and I was incredibly surprised and blown away with what John Summit played that day. I had such a good time. It was a good vibe. The crowd was just really into it. Overall, I would definitely suggest seeing John Summit. Although there's so many other DJs I would definitely recommend. Like, honestly, I would probably recommend you just being at Stereo Bloom the entire weekend. But since that's something I can't do, I'm going to end it with Side Piece. Side Piece is Party Favor and Nitty Gritty. It is their side project that they have. Honestly, just blows my mind what they have accomplished within the last year that they have really been out and in the open to everybody. Side Piece is really, really popular. They have songs with Diplo. They've just recently opened up for Alice in Wonderland at Red Rocks. I mean, Side Piece is just huge for 2021. Moving on to the Wasteland stage, which is hosted by BassCon. So you have DJs like Detweekas, Darksiders, Back to Back, Emerald Tech, Lady Faith, Lil Texas, Noise Suppressor, Junkie Kid, Water Spirit, and so many more other hardstyle artists. My top 3 for you guys for that EDC Las Vegas 2021 weekend would definitely be Lil Texas. He is for sure at the top of my list. If you guys follow Lil Texas on any sort of social media platforms, you will understand why I would recommend seeing him. He, for one, has an amazing personality. His hardstyle music is just such a vibe. I personally don't listen to a lot of hardstyle music, but I do love Lil Texas. Also, who doesn't love a man in a cowboy hat playing some hardstyle music for us during EDC Las Vegas? I would definitely recommend seeing Lil Texas, him being my number 1 for you guys at the Wasteland stage. Number 2, Lady Faith. She's just an iconic legend in the hardstyle dance community, and I would absolutely recommend seeing Lady Faith. You definitely want to check out any women on this EDC Las Vegas lineup for 2021. They are powerhouses. They are bringing it down, and Lady Faith is for sure a recommendation that I would throw out to you guys for the hardstyle Wasteland stage hosted by BassCon. To end it all for the entire weekend, my number 3 pick would definitely be Say My Name hardstyle set. Who doesn't love a Say My Name set as is? And the fact that he's gonna be throwing down some hardstyle, it's very intriguing, and it would be something that I definitely recommend to you guys for you to see. I think that's gonna be really, really special in itself. Quantum Valley, which is hosted by Dream State for the weekend. So right off the bat, you have artists there like Fury Corsten, Elon Bloomstone, Infected Mushroom, Mr. Brooks, Vinny Vici, Abraxas. You just have a whirlwind of artists that entire weekend, and honestly, I I wish I could. This would be another stage that I would say plant your ass at for the entire weekend because it's just going to be a good time. However, realistically, that's not going to happen, especially if you're a first timer. You definitely want to see each and every stage and catch a DJ at each and every stage. So with that being said, my top 3 artists that I would recommend to you off of this 2021 lineup would be Abraxas. Abraxas is 7 Lions and Damibo. It is their Psytrance project, and I haven't never seen Abraxas in person, live and in person, and that will be one of my very, very top recommendations for the entire weekend. Out of everybody to recommend, would definitely catch Abraxas. I've seen some of their live sets through the virtual sets that they kind of threw down during quarantine, and I was really impressed then. So I think being back at EDC and having an Abraxas set real in person, live and in person, will be really special. So definitely Abraxas is my number 1 recommendation to catch at Quantum Valley for the weekend. Moving on, my second is Infected Mushroom. You can't go wrong with an Infected Mushroom set. Just an iconic legend in the trance community. And last but not least, I would definitely recommend Helene live at Quantum Valley for the weekend. She is absolutely stunning. Her voice is absolutely stunning, and honestly, I think it's going to be a really, really special show that she puts on for you guys. Who doesn't love a beautiful woman singing beautiful songs by some of those DJs that we know and love? So definitely don't miss Helene. You'll want to catch her at Quantum Valley for the weekend. And that brings us to the next stage, which is Neon Garden. You guys, Neon Garden is one of my favorite stages of all time. It is such a vibe, whether it's in Las Vegas or EDC Orlando, 2 of the places that I've seen and danced in at Neon Garden. For EDC, it is so much fun. 1000%, you should definitely at least try to get to a set at Neon Garden for the weekend. So this weekend, Neon Garden is hosted by Factory 93. Okay, so top 3 for you guys during the entire weekend. 1, right off the bat, that back 3 back with Dubfire, Nicole Mudaber, and Paco Osuna, that is going to be really special. I think back-to-backs or back 3 backs are just really special in itself. So if you're able to catch any sort of back-to-back or back 3 back set throughout the weekend, definitely catch it. But I think this one is just going to be legendary. They are all legends in this EDM community. Moving on to number 2, if you love to dance, to shake your butt, and just have a good time, definitely would recommend Patrick Topping. 1000%. Do not miss that set. It's going to be really, really good. And last and final, I would recommend Test Pilot. Test Pilot is one of deadmau5's aliases, and it's just a whole nother side to deadmau5 that you guys will love. I personally have never seen it before, so it's definitely on my list to see, and that's why I would recommend it towards you guys too. Anytime you have a set by a DJ who is under one of their aliases, it's just going to be really, really special. And I think Test Pilot at that Neon Garden stage with that entire vibe is just going to be, it's going to be really good, you guys. So definitely would recommend catching Test Pilot at Neon Garden. Next stage is Bass Pod. Bass Pod is hosted by Bass Rush this year. I am so excited to see a lot of these people, or to see that a lot of these DJs are on this lineup. So let me tell you my top 3 as far as the lineup recommendations go. Number 1, we are starting off with Kygo back-to-back Knife Party. Legend, back-to-back legend. Enough said. That's going to be a vibe. That's just going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I haven't seen Knife Party in years, so the fact that they are on this lineup, not only at the Bass Pod stage, but at other stages as well too, holy cow, that is going to be super fun seeing Knife Party again. You definitely want to be a part of that. Number 2 is Joyride all DNB set. If you guys know me, you know I love a little DNB. I love Joyride. the fact that Joyride has an opportunity to play drum and bass the entire weekend, I will be there, and I hope I see you guys there as well too. That is going to be really cool, really special. I mean, Joyride just brings it every single time. He honestly puts on such a good performance. He's a master when it comes to EDM. I cannot wait. Joyride all D&B set is definitely at my number 2 recommendation for you guys. And last and final, honestly, it's really hard to pick a last and final to out of any of these guys, because if I could have like a 5-way tie, it would be happening. But I would definitely recommend Sudden Death Presents VIII. So I saw on Sudden Death's Twitter not too long ago that VIII is kind of wrapping up. He's going to kind of put it away for a little while now that, you know, we're coming to an end. Well, excuse me, he's coming to an end. It doesn't have as many appearances for festivals using the VIII alias. So I would definitely suggest catching a VIII set if you haven't yet before. Honestly, you guys, if I could put so many more in my top 3 recommendations for the Bass Pod stage during EDC Las Vegas 2021, I would. I'm just so incredibly impressed by this entire lineup for the weekend. I'm so excited that we finally get to head back to Las Vegas and be under the electric sky and just have a good time, because let's be honest, we all freaking deserve it after the 2 years that we've had. So moving on to Cosmic Meadow. Cosmic Meadow is hosted by Hard Summer, so that obviously just kind of gives you a feel of what the vibe is going to be as far as music for that weekend at Cosmic Meadow. Cosmic Meadow is one of my favorite stages at EDC Las Vegas. It is just so beautiful. The stage itself, the vibe, just everything. I cannot freaking wait to go and see Cosmic Meadow. I've missed it. I've missed having a set there, and I just love it. Anyways, okay, so let's get into it. Let's figure out the top 3 as far as who I would recommend seeing at Cosmic Meadow. Gosh. Okay, so first off, I would definitely recommend Diplo back-to-back Leave Foss at my number 1. The music that Diplo has been putting out lately, the collabs that he's been putting out lately, just the whole vibe that Diplo's kind of transformed into, I would absolutely recommend catching this back-to-back. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's just going to be a really good set. One of the sets that'll probably stick out for the entire weekend. All right, moving on. Number 2. I'm going to have a tie at this spot because I can't not have a tie. And it's going to be between Said the Sky and Dabin. I saw both of them at Global Dance Festival. I was absolutely blown away. Yes, they played with Millennium. However, you can see their love for music and their love to putting on shows for their audiences. It's just extremely magical. And both of them have just blown my mind within the last couple years. I'm so obsessed with both of them, and that's why I have to have a tie at number 2. I have to say that you go see Said the Sky or Dabin during their sets, or both if you can catch them, because I don't think you will be disappointed whatsoever. Like that, I think it's just going to be really good for you guys. So moving on to number 3, I would recommend one of the other back-to-backs on the Cosmic Meadow lineup. Solardo back-to-back Vintage Culture. I just saw Vintage Culture at the Under Construction tour with Fisher and Chris Lake. Like seriously, so good. And Solardo is just so good. Like chef's kiss good. You guys, the fact that they have a back-to-back together, oh my god. I'm like getting goosebumps right now as we speak about this back-to-back. I'm so looking forward to it. It is at the top of my list. I do not think you guys will be disappointed if you try and catch this back-to-back. It's just going to be so good, you guys. So good. Okay, that is my 3rd and final lineup recommendation for Cosmic Meadow. Solardo back-to-back Vintage Culture. You guys, beautiful house artists. Oh, it's going to be so good. Moving on to Circuit Grounds. Circuit Grounds, Let's go. It doesn't say who Circuit Grounds is hosted by, so I'm not really sure if it's hosted by anyone in particular. However, the lineup for Circuit Grounds, the 2021 weekend, is off the charts. You have so many huge names. I mean, every single person on the Circuit Grounds lineup for the weekend is just huge in itself. So let me give you my top 3 quickly. Number 1, Benny Benassi. Do I need to say more? We all know who Benny Benassi is. If you saw his virtual rave-a-thon set, you saw that he went old school. It makes me wonder if he would do something like that at EDC Las Vegas. We cannot not catch a Benny Benassi set at EDC Las Vegas, you guys. Definitely number 1. Number 2, Lane 8. I have been into Lane 8 so much lately, and I think it would be beautiful to see a Lane 8 set. Specifically, like, could we just have it at like sunset, maybe like the golden hour? Just that would be everything. So Lane 8 is definitely my second recommendation for you guys. If you want just a vibey, feel good, kind of like you're floating through the air set, just something that you can kind of like kick your shoes off and relax to and just have the time of your life, I would definitely recommend seeing Lane 8. And last but not least, my number 3, Medusa. Come on. Medusa has had such a huge year. Have you guys heard that remix that he did of Ed Sheeran's, what is that song called? Bad Habits? Ugh, so good, you guys. I love Ed Sheeran for a non-EDM artist, and I love Medusa. So the fact that they collabed and he remixed Bad Habits, I was in heaven, and I cannot wait to see Medusa and what Medusa brings to the stage at EDC Las Vegas 2021 at Circuit Grounds. It's just going to be a good time. And then we are finally to Kinetic Field. As you guys know, Kinetic Field is kind of known as like one of the main, if not the main stage at EDC Las Vegas or EDC Orlando, any of the EDC festivals. So with that being said, again, you have a lot of heavy hitters, very popular DJs on the Kinetic Field lineup. A lot of these DJs you've probably heard their songs on mainstream radio, if not on Spotify, on any of the major playlists that you guys listen to, or like the EDM Sirius radio stations. You have probably heard their music one time or another. So looking at the Kinetic Field lineup for the weekend, again, if I could recommend you just staying at Kinetic Field the entire time and catching everybody there, I would. But that's just not what EDC is all about. You need to have the entire experience, and that means hitting up stage after stage if you can, if that's your vibe. Just have a good time, wander around, see everything you can see, and listen to everything you can listen to. Okay. So, my number 1 suggestion for the weekend, and maybe someone will roll their eyes at me because I am making this my number 1 recommendation, but Kygo. It doesn't say DJ set, so I'm curious to see if Kygo will have a full production set at EDC Las Vegas. If so, it's just a really good trap house, laid back vibe. One of Kygo's influences is Avicii, so you'll definitely get an Avicii vibe listening to Kygo. And Kygo is just a musical genius. And it also makes me wonder if he will pull out any guests during his set at EDC Las Vegas, because EDC Las Vegas is like the Super Bowl of music festivals, you guys. Not only is it a big time for us, but it's a big time for these DJs as well too. So number 1 is definitely Kygo, you guys. Please do not miss a Kygo set. I realize that Kygo is very mainstream in a sense. You've probably heard his music anywhere and everywhere, from commercials to the radio to ads to whatever it may be. But Kygo is just a musician, and you will have just a good time seeing Kygo. A really good, feel good, just makes your heart happy time. So number 1 is Kygo. Number 2, who's number 2? Oh, Slander, back-to-back Said the Sky. That'll be a back-to-back you will not want to miss. I think it's going to be really special. Said the Sky has been killing it, as well as Slander. They are just two major artists in the EDM community right now, and that is going to be really, really cool. And the fact that it's at Kinetic Field, like, what a fucking honor, you guys. Seriously, that is a back-to-back that definitely has to be on my recommendations for you guys at Kinetic Field. And to round out the top three, oh gosh, who could it be? Okay, you guys, this is really, really hard, and I feel like I want to have another tie, but I said I could only have a tie with Dabin and Said the Sky. So with that being said, my heart automatically wants to go to Seven Lions, because that's just hands down somebody I would recommend seeing over and over and over again. So Seven Lions is at my number 3 spot. Okay, wait. I'm gonna do one more. So number four. Don Diablo. Yes, Don Diablo is on this list, you guys. It's just gonna be such a good weekend. And Don Diablo is just pure fire, and I just cannot wait. So number 1, Kygo. Number 2, Slander, back-to-back Said the Sky. Number 3, Seven Lions. And yes, I'm throwing in a number 4 because I said I couldn't have another tie, so I'm just going to throw in a number 4, and number 4 is Don Diablo. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my recommendations for the EDC Las Vegas 2021 weekend. I am so incredibly excited to get back into it. We are just under, what is today? We are just under 20 days until we are back in EDC Las Vegas, dancing our asses off, feeling the love, and just being under the magical electric sky. You guys, I cannot wait to see all of you. I cannot wait to be with all of you. I just can't not wait. We've been waiting for this day for so long, and it is finally almost here. You guys, I'm going to have so many more EDC Las Vegas videos coming to you within the next couple weeks before the festival actually happens itself. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. And if you have any recommendations for me, make sure you put them in the comments below. I love hearing your guys' recommendation. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.